Good morning, everyone. Please join me in thanking the University organist, Annette Girk. Welcome. My name is Professor Robin Carroll and I'm the Deputy Chair of Academic Board, the peak academic body of the University. I'm here to tell you a little bit about the graduation ceremony, its history, the people involved and how this morning's events will unfold. First, I'd like to acknowledge that our ceremony today takes place on Whadjuk Whadjuk, the country of the Noongar people, and pay my respects to Noongar elders past, present and future as custodians of this beautiful land on which we meet. On behalf of all my university colleagues, I'm delighted to welcome you all to this morning's graduation ceremony. Before proceedings commence, could I please request that you turn your mobile phones to silent or turn them off? Also, should an emergency occur in the venue, please take out your lead from the theatre staff that you'll see around the hall. Today's graduation ceremony is a traditional celebration of the university. Our roots are deeply embedded in the academic values and traditions that for many centuries have given rise to the world's finest universities. The traditional nature of our graduation ceremony serves to highlight this enduring connection with this heritage. As has been the case in universities around the globe throughout the century, the ceremony will begin with the arrival of the academic procession. This procession comprises our graduating students, graduate scholars, academics, and the office bearers of the university, attired in their formal academic regalia. The academic regalia dates back to the very earliest universities. It first began to appear in Europe during the 13th century, but its origins are to be found in the monasteries and convents which before then had served to collect, develop and transmit the steadily accumulating body of human knowledge. UWA is very much an international institution and our academics come from universities in dozens of countries. So, in this morning's procession, you will see a varied and colourful array of regalia from around the world. The procession will be led by graduating students and academic staff in order of seniority. At the end of the procession will come the principal officers of the university, members of the university's governing body, the Senate, and our distinguished guests. The final figure in the procession will be the Chancellor of the university, the Honourable Robert French, AC, who is immediately preceded by the mace bearer. The mace will be carried by a student who is a symbolic representation of the authority vested in the Chancellor, who is the Chair of the Senate. After the National Anthem, the Chancellor will formally welcome all graduands and guests and guide us through the ceremony. You will, I believe, find much to interest you in this morning's proceedings. But of course, the main reason that you have come is to witness the graduation of our students. And I hope you will all join with my colleagues and me in warmly welcoming each scholar who comes across the stage to have his or her degree conferred. There will be a professional video and photographs of the ceremony and professional photographers wait outside, but please feel free to stand where you are also for the moment to capture your own image. And most of all, enjoy the occasion. Now, finally, please all rise to your feet so that the arrival of the academic procession can commence. Thank you.
Please be seated. Members of the University Senate, distinguished guests, graduands, ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to welcome you to our 4th autumn graduation ceremony. I particularly want to acknowledge the presence today of Mr Varun Ghosh, who will deliver the graduation address, Ms Lucy Moyle, who will deliver the valedictory address, and the Treasurer of Convocation, representing the Warden, Dr Brett Davies. Members of the Senate, the former honorary degree recipient Dr Bernard Bowen, and the Chancellor's Medal recipient Mrs Annette Girk. In accordance with the tradition of the University, I now invite Mr Barry Maguire, a representative of the Whadjuk people of the Noongar Nation, to welcome us to country.
Morning, everybody. May I start by acknowledging Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, Deputy Vice-Chancellor, the Senate, graduates, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much to the University of Western Australia for including a welcome to country. It is about how do we bring a balance. It's about how do we stand together as people. Even though this tradition is so old, there is no time upon it. It was always a vibration of this land. It was a vibration of human engagement. It was how do we go forward together stronger than we have been doing yesterday. It's how do we ensure that what we put into our children must make a balance for tomorrow. And as we sit here as many nations that represent Australia, why can't we learn about each other's structure of life? Why can't we walk together and find out how do we speak, why do we speak, why do we walk the way that we walk? Inside of A Welcome to Country was about that, sharing with each other about who we are to create a better tomorrow. So thank you to the University of Western Australia for bringing this to be a part of graduations, part of gatherings inside of the grounds of education. And so, in this process, we also include the vibration of the land, the language. And may this language that has always existed here keep you the way it's kept my people, keep us growing stronger and stronger as we live as Australians today and to tomorrow. So khobara cho ajana kajara pula ajara ngopa ya kana jara neche wajok buja ye. Hello everybody. It's beautiful to see many nations here today. Ngalakade ka mamanga palaba word clear neche barang kajara nono kabernaba. And may the energies of my grandmothers and my grandfathers that have gone before me come to be with us today and tomorrow. Palaba dada kajara ngada banjara yok word clear nono ka walbana jara nono ba. And may that energy heal you and keep you and hold you for the days to come. UWA ba, welcome to UWA on the Whadjuk lands. And it is beautiful to stand with you as one. And may this old song that has existed here keep you the way it's kept us. Wanare gamalana, boyongora waningo, wanare gamalana, boyongora waningo, wanare gamalana, boyongora waningo, wanare gamalana. Boyongora waningo. The energy of King's Park, that is. The energy of the spider's dreaming. You think about a spider, the web that it would cast in order to make its home, but make it strong. May that web keep you through that song. As graduates, may you find your smile within the community. May you find your existence and your balance with the many nations that you are going to reach out and touch. God bless, stay safe, and congratulations. Welcome.
Thank you, Barry, for reminding us yet again of the deep Indigenous history that lies across this land and which is part of our national identity. Today we are sharing in a ceremony which is deeply rooted in the history and tradition of universities in this country and around the world. It marks the formal recognition by the university of the achievements of its graduands in meeting the standards and requirements of the various courses of study and research which they have undertaken at this place over a number of years. The ceremony joins them with members of the academic staff who have taught them or supervised their work, and with representatives of the convocation of the university, which is part of the university and which, as graduates, they join. The ceremony also brings them together with parents, friends and other relatives who have supported them in their work and share intimately in their achievements. The university has a long history of achievement and excellence in teaching and research and engagement with the wider community for the benefit of the state, the nation and indeed the global community of which we are all part. It was established, in the words of the University Act of 1911, to advance the prosperity and welfare of the people. It was the product of the vision and energy and commitment of extraordinary individuals who founded it and were its benefactors. Its achievements are not the achievements of an institution, they are the achievements of people. Those who teach and research here, those who govern and administer the university, and the alumni who go from this place to make their contributions in a myriad of different ways. It's not just a degree with which you, the graduands, will leave this place. It is a degree from the University of Western Australia, which is one of Australia's leading universities and, according to international rankings, one of the world's leading universities. Each of you who graduates today will be presented with a Noongar message stick, carrying with it the story of this special place. According to Indigenous beliefs, tribal boundaries were established by the great spirits of the Dreamtime. No human had the right to interfere with those boundaries or to venture onto others' tribal land. But the bearer of a message stick could cross those boundaries. The sticks were traditional passports from one nation to another in Indigenous Australia. They are seen as carrying the stories of Indigenous people across the land. So in a symbolic way, we entrust the story of this place to you, to carry it into the world. It symbolises a permanent connection expressed in the timeless language of the Noongar people. For all of you, I express the hope that the knowledge and skills you have acquired at this university will enable you to follow the lifelong path reflected in its motto, to seek wisdom and to apply it for the good of all. Ladies and gentlemen, it's now my pleasure to invite the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Dawn Freshwater, to give a brief opening address to today's graduands and their guests.
Chancellor, graduands, parents, partners and friends of the University, congratulations. It is my privilege to congratulate you on behalf of the University of Western Australia. Today's ceremony is an opportunity for us all, graduating students, parents, friends and staff, to formally recognise and celebrate your outstanding achievement in graduating from this university. Graduation is a culmination of many years of hard work, and I hope that you'll remember your time as a student here with pride, excitement and accomplishment. During your time here, you would have enjoyed moments of great joy and satisfaction, as well as, of course, having endured some setbacks and challenges. The disciplines that you've chosen to immerse yourself in have unique opportunities and experiences which will prepare you for your future at many levels and in ways yet unknown. You should feel a great sense of pride at how these last few years of persistence and resilience have paid off. as you sit in this grand hall with your fellow graduates, surrounded by those close to you. Celebrate and look to the future with ambition and with purpose. I know that as a university we've provided you with something greater than a world-class education. Being a student is much more than providing you with access to academic excellence. And I hope that you found time as a UWA student to become involved in the many facets of campus life, including, of course, the clubs, the societies, the overseas exchange programs, work-integrated learning, and community internships. Our graduates have been making a difference at a local and national and international level for more than 100 years. And while so much has changed during this time, we know that we're preparing our graduates for emerging into a rapidly changing world. One of our business graduates has gone on to found 2 software companies, putting into practice some of the skills learnt during his degree. One company, Pop-Up Shop-Up, provides an Airbnb solution to finding retail, office, warehouse, bar or restaurant spaces for businesses. It's received a great public response and helps companies and individuals stand out in a market that is already crowded and difficult to navigate. He credits UWA with providing him with the learning and ability to manage multiple requirements and projects at once, something that is incredibly important for your future. Like many students before you, you should feel confident that you're well prepared to take your place in a highly competitive working environment. You've mastered subject matter, concepts and techniques, and acquired many skills to equip you for lifelong learning. It's true that we find ourselves in a period of disruption, turbulence and global uncertainty, and there is much conjecture about our future world, including what the jobs and careers of the future will look like. You're also graduating at a time when the rise of populism has spawned such terms as fake news, post-truth, alternative facts. But globalization has brought many opportunities and provided us with more opportunities for critical debate and intelligent dialogue. This is why knowledge and its application to societal issues has never been more important. I urge you, graduates, to use the knowledge and the skills you've learned, especially the power of critical thinking, to rally against this trend and demonstrate that knowledge, facts, and evidence matter. This is a responsibility that comes with your education. Some commentators are suggesting that graduates of the future are likely to have up to 5 careers and 17 jobs, with 40% of jobs changing, not disappearing, changing. You graduates will be creating opportunities for others in the future. Each of you has a capacity to make a difference to society, whether it is through some major breakthrough through the arts or through business innovation. But as importantly, you have developed the capacity to embrace change, provide innovative solutions and to question and to be open to new ideas and possibilities. It is an exciting time for you, a time to rise to the challenge of what comes next. During the year, several of our graduates have been recognised with awards and honours for their important achievements across health, medical sciences, business, arts, law and other sciences. At UWA this year, we awarded a total of 1,054 prizes. That's an incredible achievement. But we also had 57 business school students take part in study abroad programs at universities around the world. What a wonderful way for you all to get some international experience. I'm delighted that you chose to study at this university, and of course we're sorry to see you leave, but as we know, this is not farewell. You've already heard the Chancellor talk about convocation. You will always be part of the UWA community. You will always be welcome here, and we'll do our best to support you throughout your career. And in turn, we hope that you will stay connected and become an active alumni member. And a member, of course, of Convocation, which exists to ensure all graduates have a lifelong connection to the university. Finally, graduates, your hard work and dedication have led you to this moment. And wherever your journey leads you from here, you should be very proud of your achievements. This is indeed your day. Enjoy it. Congratulations to you all. It is now my pleasure to introduce our guest speaker, Varun Ghosh. Varun studied law and arts at UWA and also teaches public law here. Earlier this year, Varun began practicing as a barrister at Francis Burt Chambers, specialising in commercial law and public law. He's held positions in New York and Washington, including as a consultant in the legal vice presidency of the World Bank in Washington, D.C., where he worked on global financial stability policy and insolvency law reform. Varun is also a board member of Global Voices and contributes to Australian Book Review. Please welcome Varun Ghosh.
Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, graduands, parents, partners, staff and friends of the university. First things first. To the graduands, congratulations. Today is a terrific celebration. The degree you receive today is a product of your work and your intelligence and application. It also represents the commitment and support of your families and friends, and the role played by your teachers at this university and beyond. None of us do it on our own, and today is a wonderful opportunity to acknowledge your achievement and to share that celebration with the people who are a part of it. I am honoured to share it with you. As a barrister, one of my main roles is to marshal evidence in a forensic way. Yet there is something very unscientific about giving advice. For each of your lives, as with mine, there is no reliable model. All other things are not held equal, and the data set is one. There is an additional challenge. I'm not at the end of an illustrious career, and thus cannot offer guidance with the authority of a lifetime of success behind me. And as far as alternative speech titles go, The View from the Mezzanine is less inspiring. Nevertheless, I can recall the sense of freedom and uncertainty that I felt 9 years ago when I was sitting on the other side of this stage. And with that in mind, I offer you 3 ideas today. The first relates to the opportunity before you now. The second relates to living richly. And the third relates to the importance of service. The opportunity. Graduands, you have before you now a window in time that is unlikely to be repeated. For a number of structural and time-of-life reasons, your ship sits lightly in the water. Now is the time to go after the experiences that you want and to explore the opportunities that the world has to offer. From my own experience, I have 2 suggestions. Whatever you do, throw yourself into it passionately and seek out global opportunities. Marcel Proust writes that passion, whatever form it takes, is the only truly interesting subject. Passion gives ardour to relationships and brings joy to a career. But passion also takes time and it takes work. Ira Glass, the creator of the radio show This American Life and co-creator of the podcast Serial, says that when you start out, there is often a gap between your expectations and your abilities. To bridge that gap, he says, the most important thing is to do a lot of work. Do a huge volume of work. Doing that work, particularly under pressure, is not easy and it is not always pleasant. but it is a vital step to developing skills and confidence. You will quickly find that you build up experience and you can approach an ever-growing number of situations with the calmness that comes from having been there before. I would also encourage you to seek out global opportunities. For those of you who have come to Australia to study, you are already ahead of the curve, so keep going. If there are reasons this is not possible, then be adventurous in your day-to-day life. More than ever, you can cultivate an international outlook from Perth. But for the rest of you, get out into the world. After graduating this place, I was lucky enough to study at the University of Cambridge, where I was enthralled by courses in public international law and legal philosophy. I then worked in London, New York, and Washington, DC. It was an enormous amount of fun, and the friends I made on those travels are friends that I will keep for life. There is the delight of discovery and the delight of novelty that comes from living in a new place. I was 26 when I moved to New York to work as a finance lawyer, and it is fair to say that I was not prepared for the intensity and the level of commitment that required. Negotiations were aggressive, and for the Americans, if a deal had to get done, you just worked until it got done. Put another way, my life bore very little resemblance to Harvey Specter's on Suits, though I did get to high-five Kanye West once at a party. Overall, the experience was invaluable. The pressure pushed me to the edge of my abilities, there was uncertainty, and I made mistakes. But it was the steepest and most rewarding learning curve I've been on in my career to date. And I still remember many of the lessons that I learned in New York. For example, never get between a New York rat and a trash pile. The second topic I'd like to discuss with you today is living an abundant life. Attending a world-class university like this one is not something to be taken for granted. We have been afforded the opportunity to explore and enjoy the full breadth and richness of life. This breadth is an essential counterpoint to pursuing your career with passion. Indeed, the economist John Maynard Keynes, who was a Cambridge apostle and a member of the Bloomsbury set, considered that a life cut off from beauty and friendship was in fact unethical. Make time for the people and activities that matter to you. As you get busier, it becomes more important to play some sport or visit the theatre or an art gallery or to have dinner with friends and family. These things will refresh you and add perspective. During the summertime, I play cricket. And as it turns out, chasing a bit of leather around a suburban oval is often the best way to think about or process a legal problem or consider a piece of writing. The third idea today is the importance of service. As graduates of this university, you are placed on a path to become leaders in our society. With that privilege comes the obligation to protect the vulnerable and to make your skills and knowledge available to the service of the community. It can be at a high level by contributing to a public debate or developing a new policy or running for the Parliament. But it can also be through volunteering for a charity or coaching a sports team or joining a PCA. Energetic and intelligent volunteers are always welcome. I hope you will also be involved in educating others in future, to take what you have learned in this place and what you learn outside it and pass it on. This broader purpose, helping others and contributing to our community, allows you to define yourself and your values in ways that are indelible. It is also incredibly rewarding. Graduates, I am excited for you and I wish you all the very best. Congratulations again.
I think you'll agree that Mr. Ghosh's address is a fitting introduction to the primary purpose of this ceremony, which is to confer upon the graduates degrees of this university in recognition of their academic achievements. My name is Professor Peter Robertson, Dean of the UWA Business School. It's my pleasure today to present graduates to the Chancellor for conferral of the degree of Bachelor of this university. I will be presenting the graduates in two groups, separated by a musical interlude. Chancellor, for the degree of Bachelor of Arts with a major in Work and Employment Relations, Tessa Caitlin Cope. Maria Fabrizia Filiano. Hu Lam Vicky Law. For the degree of Bachelor of Commerce, Stephanie Ellen Lamas Ball. Amika Claire Howard. Adam Luke Marjoram. Harrison James Naylor. For the degree of Bachelor of Commerce with a major in Economics, Amanda Matilda Coe. Olivia Jade Macri. Celeste Ong Shi Zi. Kelsey Emma Marie Trench. Nino Valarich. Esther Jane Wilmont. Cameron Heng Yi. For the degree of a Bachelor of Commerce with a major in Economics, double major, Rayford Kellitz. Chan Yen Lee. Holly Creek. Joanne Marie Embry. James Peter Hopkinson. Junwei Hu. Ron Liu. David Robert Kevin Murray. Fraser Gregory Murray. Claire Sarah O'Donoghue. Aidan Matthew O'Hara. For the degree of Bachelor of Commerce with a major in Economics, single major, Montel Joseph Aquino. Tully John Bennett. Christopher John Tiongtae Cook. Thomas Canning Donkin. Cully Eleanor Taylor-Dunn. Jack Allen Durwood. Carly Marie Fazioli. Madison Jade Hagley. Sophie Page Harwood. Aisha Ateri Binti Hasno Aidi. Christopher Joseph Hendrickson. Nicole Elizabeth Hibbett. Jirapat Iti Patanaku. Carly Isa Jeffrey. Emma Judy Caputin. Bayan Kiani. Chrislina Jothica Kant Rosalie Cruz. Harrison Teed Langsford. Jocelyn Ziwei Lim. Xu Jin Lim. Cara Leonie May. Ben Martin. Paris Ryder McLaughlin. Darcy Curran Milligan. Toby James Morris. Fahad Naveed. Xuan Chi Ong. Jessie Pang. Elizabeth Ann Powley. Kwek Yik Wei Jeremy. Joshua Teho Carlton Shriver. Sim Shiping. Caitlin Louise Smith. Wei Tian Singh. Ben James Sutherland. Hock Beng Tang. Wei Zintang. Mitchell George Taylor. Aidan Coulson McCappin Thompson. Oliver Daniel Chu. James Patrick Walsh. Jingyu Zhang. For the degree of Bachelor of Commerce with a major in Human Resource Management, Sophie Marie Alpin. Danica Kimberly Smith-Bishwash. Jenna Dawn Carrington. Joseph Luke Chiera. Alicia Jean Condon. Andrew William Patrick Connell. Devram William Don Kariaka. Louise Jean Gittinby. Carla Benita Gibbon. Penelope James Humphreys. Annie Hewen. Juan Ling Guo Arrigo. Sharon D. Lemacide Legaspi. Bill Wright Mann. Shamil Pu Soon Lee. Tanya Solverinov. Rui Ashul Shah. Chanel Smith. Michelle Joanna Sweetek. And Sarah Ann Walker.
The graduates needn't stand yet. We'll be conferring after the musical interlude. So the university is very proud of its Conservatorium of Music and of the performance standards of its students. I therefore have great pleasure in introducing a brief musical interlude by members of the Concantorum, one of UWA's vocal ensembles who will be performing over the rainbow.
will wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me.
Where troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney tops, that's where you'll find me. Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly. Birds fly over the rainbow, wide and high content. When all the world is a hopeless jumble and the raindrops tumble all around, heaven opens a magic lane.
When all the clouds darken up the skyway, there's a rainbow highway to be found.
Lean from your window pane, somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, and the dreams that you tend to dream really do come true. Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly. Birds fly over the rainbow, wide and high. If happy little bluebirds fly beyond the rainbow, why, oh, why can't
that echoes across the generations, and I thank the Con Cantorum for it.
It is my pleasure now to present graduates to the Chancellor for the conferral of the degree of Bachelor of this university. For the degree of Bachelor of Commerce with a major in Management, Huda Jaba Al-Haferi. Cassandra Maria Anderson. Miles Douglas Barrett. Jessica Rose Beeman. Cale Stewart Benison. Sarah Marie Bergman. Cameron Borchards. Carmel Marie Bruno. Mun K. Chong. Anna Grace Clixby. Cassidy Ann Easterbrook. Jack Christopher Foley. Michael Ben Goulis. Amy Ni Choi Ha. Jessica Ta Huang. Alicia Su Hyun Lee. Lee Shi Ann Odelia. Taras Husik Melson. Let's skip it and back. Brian Tam O'Dwyer. Lucy Elizabeth Wallace Moyle. James Joseph McLaughlin Ray. Ryan Kingsley Stocks. Maxwell John Watkins. Kieran James Tomi Yakis. Ivan Zhang. For the degree of Bachelor of Commerce with a major in Marketing, Courtney Jade Ackland. Nicholas David Nile. Mami Arahi. Molly Elizabeth Atherton. Alexander Robert Baird. Imogen Sarah Blow. Lee Kelly Boulis. Tiffany Page Brown. Tisha Louise Burgess. Chingman Chung. Amy Cassidy Coleman. Christine Marie Collier. Alejandra Sophia Cornelio G. Germo. Chantal Louise de Souza. Jan Adrian Duval. Jack William Dunstan. Nicholas David Fernandez. Joshua Luke Jamboy. Tyron Mark Haberland. Cameron James Jansen. Wei Jun Ju. Ariane Charlotte Kikaikros. James Richard King. Douglas Alexander Clematis. Melissa Elaine Largy. Josephine Lee. Jesse Andrew Lee. Suet Hua Lee. Wanying Lee. Juanwei Lee. Erin Key Jasurlis Catherine Liu. Yutong Ma. Billy Dana McKerney. Jennifer Jasmine Metcalf. Jack Johnson Maiden. Julia Alana Moore. Samuel Finn O'Day. Benjamin George Ognensis. Ian Ong Yong Kwan. Laura Jane Pages Oliver. Young Seo Park. Blake Linus Perkins. Tiara Jade Peverell. Ashay Pratish. Motong Quinn. Kwa Suyang Brian. Emily Rose Rutenga. Jeremy Russley. Sim Jian Suan Sherry. Jake Joseph Tana. Carolyn Yuyi T. Catherine Marjorie Tobin. Michaela Jane Maria von Perger. Stephen Joseph Wallace. Rebecca Jasmine Warren. Sing Pao Wen. Stuart Boyd Williamson. Rory Thomas Yates. Sarah Yip Ching. Benjamin Joshua Shong Yesner. Dana Yu. Claire Pauline Zedko. Jiawei Zhao. For the degree of Bachelor of Commerce with a major in Professional Economics, Kira Louise Daly. For the degree of Bachelor of Commerce with Honours, Jessica Louise Crisp. Chad Yoni Bensky. Jack Samuel Hallam. Lynn Liu. Jack Edward Shelley. Xing Wang. Timothy Luke Gosling. Corey Hatton. Annabelle Rose Henderson. Jonathan Hirsch Israel. Kahal John Leslie. Jack Liam Merritt. Alexander David Robinson. Bridget Jane Rumble. Daniel Christopher Smales. Reese Edward Tucker. And for their degree of Bachelor of Arts with a major in Communication and Media Studies, Chloe Ann Plazic.
On behalf of the University, I now confer the degree of Bachelor upon the graduands presented to me by the Dean of the UWA Business School.
It is my pleasure now to present a graduand for the conferral of the degree of Bachelor of Philosophy with Honours. The 4-year Bachelor of Philosophy Honours is a challenging and prestigious research-focused degree for high-achieving students. The course features an on-campus residential program and overseas study experience and includes extensive teamwork, problem-solving, communication skills development. Students work closely on a research project with a mentor in their chosen discipline, and in their final year, they produce a research dissertation. This course is unique in Western Australia for outstanding students who now have a wealth of opportunities upon graduation. The University is very proud of the Bachelor of Philosophy course and expect the graduating students to be exceptional ambassadors for the University for many years to come. Chancellor, I present to you the following graduand for conferral of the degree of Bachelor of Philosophy with Honours, Daniel Michael Sela.
So on behalf of the University, I confer the degree of Bachelor upon the graduand presented to me by the Dean of the UWA Business School. Now on behalf of the University, I confer in absentia respective awards upon those graduands who were unable to be present at this ceremony and whose names are printed in the program. I will now invite the Treasurer of Convocation, Dr. Brett Davies, to welcome today's new graduates.
Chancellor. Sir John Winthrop Hackett established the University of Western Australia in 1911. It was the first free university of the Commonwealth, but Sir John also gave another special right, and that right was for the graduates to become lifetime members of Convocation. Now, as a member of Convocation, you have the right to seek election to Senate of this university. You have the right to vote in that election, the right to seek election to Convocation Council and be elected to that position and vote for that position. You have a right to support the prizes and scholarships both by your time and by your financial support of the university. This privilege is enshrined in the Act of Parliament that first established this university, and few universities around the world provide such a right. As a member of Convocation, you join 130,000 graduates who have successfully completed their studies at UWA over the last 107 years, and that's the 130,000 are still living, I may add. The friendships you have developed as a student at UWA are fostered within Convocation, supporting valued lifetime networks. Convocation plays a prominent role in helping you to maintain those connections with each other well beyond this graduation. I welcome you as a new member and encourage you to continue the relationship with the university, which began when you chose to study here and continues now as a member of Convocation. As Treasurer of Convocation, congratulations and best wishes.
Today we are primarily celebrating the achievements of our students, and it's therefore appropriate that a student voice should be heard to mark this significant occasion. I'm pleased to invite Miss Lucy Moyle, who graduated today with a Bachelor of Commerce with a major in Management, to give the valedictory address on behalf of today's graduates.
Good morning. Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, members of Senate, distinguished guests, members of staff, graduates and our guests. It is an honour to address you all this morning on behalf of the most recent graduates of the University of Western Australia. This is a significant milestone for all of us, and naturally it presents an opportunity for us to reflect on our time here and for what lays ahead. I started off my tertiary journey as an awkward 17-year-old straight out of high school, all the gear and no idea. Fast forward 4 years and I feel well equipped to tackle the challenges and opportunities that come my way. I have had to entirely leave my comfort zone. I have a new thirst for learning, and thanks to Lost on Campus I can identify every classroom at this university. We have all worked incredibly hard to reach this point and are privileged to join 130,000 other UWA graduates who have gone before us since 1913. I would like to pay special recognition to those students who have graduated from their honours course today. I think it's an amazing achievement to be able to contribute so considerably, not only in academia, but also to our broader society, so congratulations. Our time at UWA has been very special. Nestled amongst the ivy and peacocks, we may have been lost in Leo Langer's beautiful moustache during first year accounting, subtly regained our dignity after a quick sprint to business school from Octagon, silently wishing we were brave enough as the boy who could ride a Razor scooter, or enjoy lunchtime delicacy, care of George's Greek food van. Sitting here this morning though, it's very clear that we have all taken vastly different pathways. There are hundreds of students here today representing 62 countries and over 13 different degrees. We all bring a wonderful array of perspectives and have made our own contributions to UWA's culture and diversity. Whether we participated in clubs and societies or preferred to focus on academia, a spirit of community followed us all, and we were able to strive to reach our own personal potential. We will always be a part of this community. The learning behind our degree has of course provided us with a deep technical and academic knowledge that has brought value in many other forms as well. We have developed analytical and problem-solving skills, enabling us to make sense of and solve complex issues. We've developed strengths in communicating and relating to others, which is transferable to a board meeting or to a classroom scenario. And we recognise that we are better working collaboratively to achieve success. Although we know that the memories of Winthrop Hall and the routine search for a Yellow Bay car park will never be quite far behind us, it's time to think about what comes next for us all. When we were younger, we would constantly be asked by parents, teachers, members of the community about what we wanted to be when we grow up. A doctor, an astronaut, an oil analyst specialising in low-grade fuel oil options. Whatever the preference, the time has come where we are now grown up. These plans may have shifted over time as we matured or learnt about our strengths, and perhaps you may share my sentiment in thinking, now that I have this degree, now that I possess these transferable skills, how can I truly make an impact? For me, it matters less what I want to be, and rather more how I want to be. What I mean by this is deciding how we approach each day of our lives, which values we choose to live by, or how we want to be perceived by those around us. Do we want to be courageous, innovative, a change maker? Are we approachable, passionate, or collaborative? Some of us may have already transitioned into work, others have started further study, or some of us could be taking some well-earned time to recuperate. Whatever the case may be, I hope you can all take the time over the next few weeks to consider your values and let that drive how you show up each day. I would now like to take some time to thank, on behalf of the students sitting here this morning, the educators who have enabled us to reach our true and full potential. To the lecturers, tutors, and all involved behind the scenes, thank you for your time and dedication and for your undivided support you've given us each day. I would also like to acknowledge the others in our support network, our family, friends and classmates, without whom we may not be standing here today. And so, a final congratulations to all the graduates this morning. We may take away a nicely printed piece of parchment and a hefty HECS debt, but more importantly, we have open minds, our own values, and an opportunity to make real change. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your participation in today's proceedings, which has made it a memorable occasion for all of the graduates. I would particularly like to thank Mr. Varun Ghosh for his graduation address and Ms. Lucy Moyle for her valedictory address. Both of them have enriched these proceedings with their perspectives. To all of the new graduates, I offer my warm congratulations. As UWA graduates, your achievements will enhance the reputation of this university. We do hope that you will keep in touch with us over the coming years to let us know what you are doing and that you will retain a lifelong connection as a part of the university community. The ceremony is now concluded and I invite you to join us on Whitfield Court for light refreshments. Members of the audience are asked to rise and remain standing in their places until the procession, including the new graduates, has left the hall.